Hi friends and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Abair and this is where I share my insights. And today I'm talking about what's love got to do with it. If you're like Tina Turner, you might think that love is a second-hand emotion, but it's not. It's a primacy. It's the leading edge of creation. And what makes it difficult to talk about is that it doesn't totally exist in theory, but can be demonstrated, applied, and practiced. However, you have to have had an encounter with it. Stick around and I'll explain. I often use music in my insights because music was my passion. In many ways it still is. Now sharing my insights is something I love to do. And so I'm going to start off by saying, let's imagine there's a culture on the planet that has never heard music of any kind. They don't make sounds to dance or to just enjoy. And I don't know of any culture on the planet that does not have music. But let's, for the sake of argument, say that we have traveled to a foreign land where music is completely unknown to a living creature. And the simple way to show anybody what music is to take out your harmonica and play a tune, or to sing a song. Then they will have had a direct encounter with music, and they'll know what music is, and then you'll have this commonality. But many of us go about sharing our spiritual knowledge in words, because there is no other way. I can share my insights with music. I could sing for you or play the piano for you, and you may experience the same resonance with my speaking voice. You may hate it, or you may fall in love and say, oh man, this music is something else. So the universe allows for that interpretation. There's always room to criticize it, praise it, reject it, whatever the case may be. But I am demonstrating love. That's it. And if I were to demonstrate music to a music-less society, let's assume that's a word, music-less, a society without music, I would not take a stack of music theory textbooks and read that to them. And say, this is middle C, and this is a treble clef, and this is how you make a major chord, and this is what a melody is, and this is what dynamics are. I would be describing something that would mean nothing until I took out my harmonica and played a tune, or my violin, or my piano. And say, oh, this is music. They may know what it is, but that doesn't mean they're going to respond to it. However, the minute you turn on music, people start moving. If I turn the beat around, your head will just kind of respond to it. You can't help it. It's like music is in us. The human is a musical instrument in many ways. So it's interesting that we call the universe a musical term. Uni means one and verse means song, one song. Even science calls the universe the universe. They don't even realize they're calling it music. And so a scientist tries to explain the universe as a machine or a computer, and that's all right. That's also, computers make music and machines make music. That's all right. Some people call the universe this random assortment of crap. Well, to a lot of people, music is just a random assortment of noise. So music is a wonderful way of understanding love, because love is everywhere. And love can manifest itself in so many different forms, yet we can't write a textbook about it. And everybody says, oh, or just read the Bible. In the same way that the Bible or the Tao Te Ching or the Bhagavad Gita is not God. It is, we talk about what we call God. A music theory textbook is not music. It doesn't tell us a damn thing about what music is until I play my violin. And I demonstrate it with a lot of passion. So it's one thing to see somebody play, that's kind of, that's interesting. But then if you see somebody like Yo-Yo Ma, just like, just turn into this mushy, ooey gooey thing, that's music with a lot of passion and a lot of enthusiasm. But you have to hear it. You have to be in the presence of it. And the same is with love. Love is not a second-hand emotion. You have to have a direct encounter with unconditional love to understand the unconditioned, the unmanifested, the formless. So a lot of us go around theorizing, one day when I meet my partner, I'm gonna really feel true love when I get married. That's when I'm really gonna feel whole and loved and well. That analogy, as it relates to music, would be somebody saying, one of these days when I really, really understand music, I'm gonna play the piano. When you can touch, if you have access to a piano, you can put your fingers on it now, immediately, and make something happen. You can go, start making music right away. You know what it is. You've heard it. So we somehow think that love is missing from our life. And our life is some sort of means to an end. And one day, I'm going to find the Holy Grail. I'm going to figure out what love is. All the while, love is just here and now, and immediately you can dive into what it is and recognize that that's essentially who you are. However, we have to get out of the theoretical world. We have to get out of the world of theory, which is a substitute for life, in the same way that a music theory textbook is a very good description for life, just like maybe the Bible and all these sacred things are very good descriptions of God. You must have an encounter with the divine, the mystery, the holiness. You have to have an encounter with it. You can't be separated from it, but there is a root connection that awakens you. And you feel the zing. So you and I cannot have a common language about what I'm trying to talk about without us both having encountered the same sort of thing. So that's what makes love very difficult to talk about, or God, because it's all theory. God is a theory. Yet very real. In the same way love is. Love has to be demonstrated through action. It can't be theorized. It can't be postponed. It can't be described. It must be lived. And it must be prioritized. Well, how do you prioritize love? You have to have a direct encounter with it to realize that's essentially who you are. But love is often to people a second-hand thing, a byproduct. One of these days I'll have some time to love somebody. One of these days I'll have some time to do what I love, to be with who I love, to talk about what I love. One day I will have the means to have fun and to be free. And people like me come along and say, you can do that now. It'd be like me putting you down at the piano and say, we're going to play the piano on your first lesson. Well, that's what you do when you fly an airplane. Guess who sits in the left seat? The student. The instructor's in the right seat. You get to start the plane, put your fingers on it, touch it, experience it, encounter it. You have to. You have to touch the yoke and the throttle and the rudder pedals, operate the brakes, see how the ailerons work. You have to do that. I can talk to you about flying, but not until you sit into the cockpit will you know how. So a lot of us are living a theoretical life through something called the ego. And the ego is nothing but a bunch of descriptions, a story of me. You might think of it as a bunch of sticky notes that are put together that look like an individual person, called a story, a narrative. And the ego hates stuff like this. The ego hates to hear that life is easy and that love must be prioritized before you can manifest anything. The word epiphany means manifest. Manifest at a deeper level means caught in the act of love. Love is priority. You have all the love you need. You have all the resources you need. You can be as loving, but you have to practice love like you have to practice the piano. And when love becomes a priority, you can create these amazing things in your life. It's just putting yourself in that love-trust position, which is supple. First of all, it's forgiving. It's like bamboo. The wind blows against the bamboo, and the bamboo just bends. Bamboo is one of the strongest living grasses. All grasses are living, but it's the strongest grass on the planet. It's probably one of the strongest materials because it's so bendy. I've got bamboo here, and I learned about that. And love is that way. It's strong, but it's very ooey and gooey. And that's what's powerful. Now, the ego is equally, it's kind of a different kind of love. See, the ego is protective. I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to protect my kids. You better not cross me. That's a gesture of love. It's like a mother. A mother would kill for her child. That's protective. That's that is an egoic love. But unconditional love is bendy, soft, supple, gooey, ooey, completely open and receptive. And that's what really creates a manifested life that is easy. But you have to come to this aha moment where you've had this experience and you realize, holy crap, I'm a sucker for love. Everybody is a sucker for love once it's revealed to them that that's who they fundamentally are. Now, I can't put this into terms. I have to come to terms with it. And so do you. And you are. If you're listening to videos like this, you're working your way through the veil, the shadows, the darkness, the fear. You're mining for your true self. You're kind of done building up the ego, this false sense of pseudo-self. But the ego loves to complain. That's loving. The ego loves to think it doesn't have anything. That's loving. The ego loves to criticize. The ego loves to praise too. And it loves to be praised and criticized. The same. So in a way, love is everywhere in everything. And there's like egoic love and there's unconditional love. And it's like the whole thing is love. All of it is love. And then all of a sudden you become this sucker for it. And what's exposed is this joyful thing. And you realize this thing that I thought I was, me, is nowhere in the body. Nobody's home. You think you're between your eyes, just kind of in there. But you're not. You're everywhere. You're everything. Even that which opposes you. And you realize that your enemy is loving you, teaching you something, showing you how to be even more supple and resilient. And so I am theorizing about love right now, but I hope more importantly, I'm demonstrating it in my videos. And that's what you're picking up. If you want love to shine through, you have to be calm, unconflicted in what you say, and let the words flow. Let love flows. I'm not trying to confront you and say, hey, I have more love than you. You need some love. I'm trying to demonstrate how it's everywhere and it's unconditional. I could sing you a song. I could sit here in silence and probably demonstrate the same thing. I don't have to say anything. I just love talking. And I hope you love listening. And then you practice loving everything. This dog over here, she's rolling around in the grass in the sun, loving it, just being stupid. And that's who you are. You're a fool for love, just like me. And so we have to show it. I can't, what do I do to somebody that appears loveless? Nobody is loveless. Believe it or not. That's what's so weird. In many ways, I couldn't find a culture that doesn't know music. Some people think they don't know love. But you find the person who is at their worst, and you put a puppy in their arms and they melt. That's love. Direct encounter with love. Right there. And you live in that relaxed, calm, submissive, naked, vulnerable state. And you demonstrate that at the grocery store and in traffic and on YouTube and on the stage and giving speeches. And you live your life as an application and practice of pure, unbounded, radiating, joyful, frivolous, and senseless love. It's not easy to do at first. Love is practiced. But you can, like the piano, you can just touch it for the first time. Do, re, mi. You made some music. The first lesson. You are making love right now by watching this. Why else would you have clicked on this if you weren't interested in being a fool for love? Just like me, which is very wise. And will demonstrate amazing things just by being supple and soft and fun and frivolous and prioritizing love, which is just a light. And facing that light, and we'll become children of the light. Light can be a particle, a wave. It can also mean being buoyant and not weighty. Being all those superimposed things. All of the forms of light. Both as a blinding, warmth, luxuriating, radiating bath. And that's where you put your face forward into the unknown future and you jump. Into the arms of the unknown. That's courage. to be in that trust, open, patient, resilient, flexible state. Always. Especially when it appears someone is attacking you. You get quick to it. Because it's prime. It's primacy. It's at the top. A lot of theorizing about something that's hard to describe, but must be demonstrated and encountered directly in real time. And every new moment is an opportunity for you to lead with love. Me too. I'm working on it. That's a whole lot more fun than goal planning and all. Just to work on being loving every moment. When I wake up in the morning, when I interact with the dog, when I have to discipline the dog, I have to do it lovingly. That's my game. That's my new thing. It's my new passion. Join me. And it'll manifest in all kinds of ways. You can be a teacher, a speaker, a writer, a dancer, a performer, a business owner, you name it. Love will lead you to all sorts of easy things. But the ego doesn't want to hear anybody say that life is easy. It is when you prioritize love. But you got to practice getting good at it. You know what it is. And it is not easy and quick. But it's easy in the smaller moments and in the smaller situations to be loving with yourself, to be loving with time. Hey, this takes a long time. Great. Takes a long time to be a content creator. I don't care, because the joy and the love are now. I'm loving talking to you. And I hope that you're loving listening. And if you're not, that's okay too. You would have clicked off this video a long time ago. What's love got to do with it? Everything. My name is Ryan Hebert, and I hope you enjoyed these insights. Please check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.